Recording started.
All right, 6:33, time to start the City of Torrington's Conservation Commission meeting for Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, City Hall Auditorium, room 218, 140 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Present this evening in person is Aaron Stelma, Karen Svets, Jeremy Spitz, Jeff Palaka, myself, Christine Altman, and staff member Nate Nardi-Cyrus, Assistant City Planner. First order of business is the minutes for approval for June 24th, 2025, regular meeting. If nobody read the minutes, there's some minutes there. We could table it.
I saw it.
Next meeting.
I think I was at the meeting.
I wasn't either.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, I read them. Can I?
Yep, you can.
Accept.
Okay. And can I second?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. With you're abstaining? Okay. All right. New business, 660 Torringford Street, re-subdivision of the re-subdivision application, open space comments.
So, yes, let me share this. Of course, I didn't bring the actual subdivision. I could probably look it up. Is it posted on?
It's actually posted on the Conservation Commission.
Oh, you posted it?
Yeah. So if you go to the Conservation Commission meeting.
What is this near? This 660?
This is right across from Nutmeg Village, from Carriage Lane on Torringford Street. So when you're going you're kind of going north toward East Main Street, there's a hill, pretty big hill you get to past Hogan Drive. And you get to the top of the hill and then it goes back down again and it's right at the very top of the hill. It's a dirt driveway that exists, so you can actually see it there. And it's just an access though with a bridge over a water course at the bottom. Commission. New life breathed into Dead City Group. Oh.
That's funny. That must be old.
Let's see.
Wait, is it not there?
Well, it would have been in wetlands.
Okay, I did put it in the Conservation Commission, but maybe I didn't in the group.
Hey, I know that website. It is complicated. Let's see. So it would have been this meeting. And here we go. Let's see.
Is the presentation the site development plan? Or,
I think it would I think we want to do sheet 2. So yeah.
Okay.
So let me just make sure this is sharing. I figured out how to use Teams now, but it's so convoluted.
This thing is working now or it's not?
Oh, it's so convoluted. I had to start it on my tablet because it wouldn't let me sign in and then log in separately. Let's see. There we go. All right, so currently as it sits, where I'm tracing on the cursor, that's a single lot. It's almost 5 acres. This is the access way. This is Carriage Lane over here, kind of offset from it, but this is the top of the hill. And it's kind of a steep driveway. It comes down. This is Porter Brook.
Yep.
And then it comes up a little bit into this open area here. And the reason we know about this is because, so first of all, this has to go to planning and zoning. And in fact, the application's been submitted for a re-subdivision, which means this property's already been subdivided once before. And this is just another subdivision in kind of the history of legal subdivisions that's been since 1957. 1957? Yep. When the regulations were first adopted. So this kind of approval has to go to planning and zoning. It had to go to wetlands because you can see all the wetlands here. This, you notice this line, this is the only developable footprint in here. So the initial plan of the developer was to put a single house within this area here, but because it's in a residential or a single family home district, they wanted to do something multifamily and they couldn't. So their plan is to do this subdivision, put 2 fairly large single-family homes in this area, and then do accessory apartments in each of them so that there'd be 4 units on the property, but they'd be split between these 2 houses. So it went to inland wetlands and it did get approval. So it has to go to inland wetlands for approval and then it goes to planning and zoning. So it's past that hurdle. And now it was referred to conservation because when you go through a re-subdivision like this, where there's been no open space set-asides done yet, the regulation requires that there be an open space set aside for any subdivision, even one of this size for only 2 lots. It's 20% of the lot, so it's 5 acres here, so it's about 1 acre of land. It can be done in 3 different ways through the regulation. There can either be a fee in lieu, where there's an assessor gets the value of the raw property. They basically pay that, and it goes into the Conservation Commission's kitty for purchasing land elsewhere. So this is often done in places where there's not really any conservation features. There's nothing really
Is that
quality to
last
protect.
resort, maybe?
Depends on the situation, right? I mean, for some situations, it makes the most sense because I'll give an example, the cannabis location on McDermott Street. So there's like a pretty surprisingly large property. You know where McDermott is, next to the Ocean State Plaza? There's the new cannabis dispensary there.
The Chinese food restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
They did a re-subdivision of that, and it's 100% impervious, except maybe like 95% impervious, and there's a little water quality basin, and that was the only piece of open space there. So this commission had recommended fee in lieu, and that's what they ended up doing, was just assessing that value and paying into conservation. So when the subdivided lot sold, there would be a lien on the property, and then once that sold, that lien would have to get satisfied and paid to the city. So
This is another good example though, because everything except the buildable footprint is wetlands. So why would we take an acre of wetlands when it's conserved already?
that's the question, right? So
I was
there's
thinking the same exact
Well,
thing.
which is true. So there's the fee in lieu. There's the taking an easement, right? So there could be a conservation easement where they still own all the property, but there's an easement that gives away certain rights. In most cases, that we have kind of boilerplate easement language. It's like, you can't dump debris here, you can't clear vegetation, you can't establish roads. It kind of limits it to passive recreation. You can
It's
hunt.
already in the case with the wetlands, though, right?
Correct. So then the final thing is to do fee, where you actually transfer it to the city, and that doesn't really make much sense unless the city owns adjacent property that it would add to.
Landlocked, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So the reason why my recommendation straight out of the gate isn't that it be just fee in lieu, is that, they're permitted to put these houses there. This is going to go to inland wetlands, but after these houses go in, and they can be rather close to the property line. Let me back up. When they do a subdivision, they have to show these concept plans. This hasn't been approved yet, but they have to prove that like a subdivided lot can actually get built on. So they actually do an engineering build out to see like these are the proposed grades. This is the elevation and the location of the house in relation to the wetlands. So, they can actually do this split, which is the lines right here, and fit these in here and have it meet setbacks and all that. So the Wetlands Commission, when they approved this, said, okay, these houses are very large, they're very close to the wetlands, and whenever we see that happen in inland wetlands, it's always violated immediately. Like, this will go in, the property will sell, we'll never see it again, and they'll just clear all of this and fill it and turn it into lawn. That's not necessarily what will happen. Wetlands will probably they will require that there be some kind of boulders or some delineator placed, posting. So that's what will happen probably when it comes back for approval through inland wetlands. So inland wetlands has to approve it again for the actual build of the houses, not just for the subdivision. So the reason why I was considering kind of waffling between a fee in lieu and doing an easement is that, first of all, there is an easement on this property already. So if you kind of go to right here, this is all conservation easement when they did this many lot subdivision here, this ended up being conservation land here. So it actually could be contiguous to conservation land. In addition, so you see this map shows that it's all wetlands. That's not really true. They only mapped up to the edge because that's all they care about in the development scenario. So we have an older map and it kind of shows it go like, this sort of, it kind of like wraps closer to the envelope here. And there's some drainage, some water courses coming down. My only thought was, well, with that amount, you can see my little markers here. This is about the size of the easement. We could wrap the thing in easement, and then that way it could get monitored over a period of time, and it would protect anything inside of it because, basically it would flag it because annually these easements are monitored. So it could put.
How do you just go through and look on?
We just go on Near Map and it's pretty quick. You just go and you look if there's been any change in the areas that are covered by conservation easement. So that's my only, so it's basically between, the role of the Conservation Commission is to make a recommendation to Planning and Zoning Commission. They're likely to go with whatever the recommendation of this commission is based on what they've done in the past. They don't usually have strong opinions about this type of thing. I don't know what's your experience with that. I mean, so, that's kind of the question. Do we do do we suggest an easement that kind of surrounds the envelope? Do we suggest an easement that is contiguous to like this other easement, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a question of what's more important here, kind of adding extra protection to this land here or the fee in lieu, which, we could, collect over time and put toward a parcel that might be actually, more significant.
How much do you estimate a fee in lieu fee?
I don't, so there is a calculation for that. It's,
Well, it's the 20% of the,
I think it's more complicated than
It
that.
is?
Yeah, it's,
I'm just wondering, is it substantial enough that we could use it towards something else? Or is it really somewhat negligible and not worth,
right. This
And-
fee is a combination of fee and this fee or combination of fee and the fair market of land reserved for open space shall not exceed 10% of the fair market value of the land to be subdivided prior to the approval of the subdivision. So it's 10% of the land
Okay.
value rather than 20% of the area.
But it's landlocked, sort of, right?
Mhm.
So how valuable is the property?
Well, it would be probably excess land to these two house lots.
Have we ever, I know last I was here, we were mapping like wildlife, like courses and stuff like that. Do we have anything like that that might exist in the area?
It's a good question. Not, so if you kind of zoom way out in the context of things, oh, look, a stone wall. I'm gonna just delete that.
Noteworthy.
Definitely not. So most of the high quality stuff generally is up in this part of the town. I mean, you can see these kind of large blocks of forests. This is Pognut and Burr Pond and the reservoir system up into Goshen, West Pond, Camp Mo. So those areas are like the big, important areas for those sort of wildlife crossings. There's not any, if you're talking about like the ones that we're going out and inspecting, there's none in this area. The only thing that's kind of a smaller scale wildlife corridor, I would say, would be just the stream, right? You can see it comes down through here. And there is a buffer just kind of, based on land use regulations essentially that created that.
Last year when we had issues with flooding, did we have any of that happen in this area or?
No, that was more,
Like the other side. Of
yeah, that was in this part of town. And a lot of the reason for that was it's a lot more, well, I mean, not a lot more built up, but it's steeper.
Okay.
And basically there'll be a stream, it'll get channelized under a road. Stream, channelized under a road, and it'll just do that. And so they were constantly getting
They're like
plugged
tortoises,
culverts
right?
and yeah, it was a mess more for that reason. There was a lot of velocity and a lot of maintenance of these structures where it went above and below ground. But this was that area that was really hot for those events, but not so much up here. And this specifically, it's kind of like this corridor, you can see there's like a house here, house there. Here, let me pull up what I wanted. See if this gets too complicated. So you can see it kind of, well, maybe this is complicated, but off. Well, you can see the stream comes in here, but it's yeah, you can't see at this scale. It's pretty deeply cut in here. Like there's a significant slope down in either direction where there's not really any risk of any future development of second houses in this area. And then it kind of crosses over here. There's another conservation easement. This map has to be wrong. And then it comes down through here, which is set lower. So that kind of corridor, this is the Lead Mine Brook watershed, is pretty, I think resilient to flooding just because it's kind of deep in there and it's there's quite a channel that kind of holds the water in there.
I mean, considering those things, I mean, it doesn't sound like that property is really of much interest from a conservation standpoint then.
I know, and it's the kind of thing where like, it'll be so part of this is it would have been nice if the applicant had provided what they want to do, right? Because then conservation could have evaluated it and been like, oh, that seems reasonable, and like no reason to hassle someone unnecessarily if they have a plan and we're generally okay with it. But in the absence of that, it's kind of like,
Meaning they don't have a plan for what they want to do with the open space.
No, so I have no idea if they want to do fee in lieu. I mean, they may really want to do an easement because they don't have to get an assessment of an appraisal of the property, and it's already in their mind they're not going to be using it. It's not on their plans to turn it into a lawn as an amenity. It's the next owner that's going to be.
Or is this going to be rental property?
I don't really know.
Why would they, if they were gonna sell it, why would they be building accessory?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Seems like they wanna rent it out.
That was kind
But
of
it's like,
because he wanted to do a
costs for
multifamily.
rental
Yeah.
seems
Like they're selling it.
high.
Why would
To
they build accessory
maximize,
apartments?
because they're gonna have to pay a good amount to get utilities down that road, just to,
Right, and they did say it's
count
part of the,
houses,
it's part of the financials to get as many units in there as
That's what I'm
possible.
thinking, yeah, they gotta maximize to make it worth their while.
And the way the accessory apartment regulations work, so
Yeah, let's see.
So this is a single family home district. So it means you can't do any multifamily there, can't do any two family. The accessory apartment regulation is a way around that where you can do a small apartment that's by definition accessory to the main house. And the way they do that is it's capped at 1,000 square feet or 30% of the footprint of the existing house,
Whichever's smaller, right?
whichever's smaller. So it's between
1,000 square
four.
feet is
It's
That's pretty big.
You
So
think?
it's,
I think
Is
that's
that like a
pretty.
mother-in-law thing?
yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Some of that's a new thing now, families, especially when you got kids that aren't functioning, to keep them nearby and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, even just, and I think that's why I think they want to maximize the
Oh, because
size.
then they can get a larger apartment, get more rent.
Right, exactly, and they can,
So what do you think they're doing, like a basement apartment?
probably, I don't really know.
I just am wondering.
It's not gonna be a
like, what
duplex.
will like so you have your 1,000 square foot apartment, you can get like, say, 1,700 a month or something like that, but
Easy.
what do you,
Rents are
but
crazy.
then the rents are crazy if you can find people who can afford them, and who will pay them, but then rent on a single family, that's 2,000 square.
That's big.
feet. That's not easy.
Could be Airbnb.
Is the person developing this the owner? Like, does he plan on living there, or is it a
No,
development company?
I don't think he plans on living there.
It's just like a money making.
Right, I just don't know if he's gonna flip it as an investment property for someone else, right, as an income property, or if he's gonna take the income himself. He builds a lot of houses, or a fair amount of houses. So I say if I had to guess, I think he's probably gonna flip it. But it was, yeah, a lot of conversation of like he wants to put a multifamily there specifically, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so strange. Okay.
Back to the fee
Right.
in lieu, do we have anything in mind that we would do with it? Is there something that we would
It's
like
always good to have
acquire?
money.
It's just, we just keep
But if we
it-
don't get it right away, we get it when it sells.
Right.
No, that's not the area where we have any of the rat issues either, is it?
You know, not specifically. I mean, it's at least,
I'm sure there are
Lar-
rats.
I was gonna say,
They're not a-
yeah, there's
They're
probably
not a
rats.
nuisance, nobody knows.
Right. At least it's not tight enough that they're an issue. We do have the rat map.
So we get it when it sells or when
I
it
just
sells?
saw
Sells.
When what sells?
When we get the fee, it's a lien, so we get it when they sell.
Right,
So if he builds it and flips it, then we get the fee,
correct.
right?
Builds it,
Like
keeps
close.
it,
But if he keeps it,
And
we
rents it
could,
out.
we could
Never get it.
be waiting 30 years or whatever.
No.
That's an interesting point.
I mean, yeah, that's not cool.
It's
Like,
not-
Well, I mean, money is money. It's a long game with municipal.
Right, I think that's
Project,
kind of,
particularly
There's
conservation
no
and,
interest on it, so in
yeah.
addition, in 30 years, it'll probably be worth like half
He's
that.
not required to disclose what his plans are with it?
it didn't come up, he had his applicant representing him at the wetlands meeting. So it didn't come up as, because I mean, as far as
that
wetlands
was the soil
goes,
scientist, right? Was that who?
yeah, it shouldn't have anything to do with it. It should be
Right.
just the characteristics of the ground.
So it's a gamble on
Um,
our part.
How many thousand square feet is each one of the homes?
I don't think, so these numbers are only elevations. Did he say during the meeting?
I don't remember, but we were just looking at the footprints compared to the houses around them, and they were really large.
Yeah, they're very, and even even the surveyor was like, I told him not to make them this large. He's like, you know, because he knew, I mean, for this case, right, you can see how close it is.
Especially if they're secluded like that.
Right, 20 feet for this
Right.
one and
Same.
14
Oh, yeah, with the
feet
deck,
from the
yeah.
deck. You know, that's pretty tight. And so
Yeah.
you're talking, you live next to this, right? You have a tall tree. Like, you're gonna start clearing trees back, right? And then that's just kind of like, well, we clear more. And it just kind of creeps like that,
And
or,
then, yeah, if you look at near map and just look at the houses around it, like the footprints of the,
yeah, I'm trying to think of how I would compare that. Because, well, it
Well,
looks like if you plop this down, you can kind of see this house would take up, right, a lot of that area there. And then let's see. And that's the house there, which is probably what, like 1,200-1,300 square feet?
yeah.
Can I use up my stupid question? Are you allowed to request to find out what they're gonna be using those for?
We can't, like, it's not an application in front of us, and we probably should stick to, you know, what we know of the facts rather than
Then
fishing
speculating.
around.
It wouldn't be binding, you could just say, oh, changed my mind.
Yeah, oh, it's true, it's true. Is the hearing at tomorrow?
No, wait, no, we're just setting the date,
Just setting the date.
just
So-
setting the date for the hearing.
But then the date would come after, like, then the hearing would come before next month's conservation meeting,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I mean, we could put them off more, but that's, you know,
Right.
Can you go back to the possible
My question for
layouts
you,
for the
Nate,
easement?
oh, yeah. That's why I was just saying, well, we could just wrap the easement around the envelope. Well, because then if you
Yeah.
do that, then you're protecting all this back here because,
If you wrap it, let's just say, oh, you're saying it's monitored. I was gonna say,
so
what's
I
to say
think that's the difference, right? The difference
that's really the big
between
difference.
just the fact that it's wetlands and the fact that it would be conservation easement around it is that there's a yearly checkup.
Right, and otherwise, because of how hidden this is, we're never gonna know what's
Wouldn't
gonna,
see
and
it.
I can't, I'm not tracking wetlands properties.
To me, that'd be a good option.
And it's nice because it connects to these, right? So you're talking, yes, it's an acre additional,
fragmented.
but this is, 2.2, 1.8. In my like kind of orderly
And that's
mind, I'd love to
another-
see it connect, but it doesn't really matter in this case because
Right,
if you're
because that's
protecting
blocking
this, they're really not supposed to go in here at all anyway, or at least most of it.
And so there's no potential for that.
And if they really wanted to get up and like this area is upland, if they wanted to put like a small field and do a wetlands crossing down the road, we could always make sure that the language is, allows them to do a crossing or something like that.
With
Or
a
like
view
a-
or something like that.
Yeah, like a review through conservation. So just so that we're not cutting off access to the entire property for, I don't know, but that's just, so those are kind of,
What size will that lot be once it's subdivided? The bigger one?
say this is 140,000 square feet roughly. And this is a 42
So one of them's a little under an acre, 140.
and one is like a little over an acre. Or no, double, two.
No, more than that.
Yeah,
Big.
it's 60 times
Hold on,
2.
140 divided by 43.5.
2 point something.
3.21.
3.2.
They can have their chickens.
Yeah. They could have chickens.
They can
yeah.
have their chickens.
Right, because this is like a smaller one up
Yeah.
here.
I mean, personally, I think what your plan looks good considering the options.
Well, I think the other thing is like, what are those lots worth? So if we're getting 10%, is that like
Well, that's what, I was gonna look at that
like 4 to
again.
6,000?
So it's the fair market value of the land to be subdivided, so it's shall not exceed 10% of the fair market value of the land. So it's the appraisal of the entire parcel and then 10% of that.
Yeah,
Not like,
Yeah, so I don't-
not the
I'm
excess
thinking-
land separately appraised.
that's gonna be between, I mean, I don't really know land so well, but it's gonna be like 35 to 60,000, I would think, value. Maybe less because it's a flag lot, but I don't know.
And then they get that in 30 years, which would mean it would
Right,
really be
so
worth
like,
like $1,000.
right.
I mean,
And
you
we're here to
really don't
conserve
have any
land, this is
road
conserving land, so.
What?
I'm just thinking it's not super valuable because you don't have the road, that little
Well, you
swath of
couldn't-
road frontage, so anybody who develops
Well-
it, it's gonna cost a lot of money. So I would
So you
say-
think it's like not a valuable lot?
I mean, it has some value, but not,
Just because of the cost of running utilities, you
Oh,
think they
yeah.
would?
yeah, definitely, and driveway material, all of it to get. from
The
one-
driveway's already built and there's a
Oh,
bridge,
okay.
there's a crossing already in. And the driveway's, well, let's see. Our city engineer really not nailed him on the driveway, but so they'd have this little, bump out for coming in and out. So the line they have 20 feet roughly. So the line's gonna run right through the middle, so it'd be a shared driveway. And then there's the bridge there, and then it comes up from there. But it was over 12%, and they requested a waiver for the 12%. And yeah, because that's the maximum. And our engineer's like, no. So I think that they had to redo it to meet 12% grade. So it's not so I guess the moral of that story is the grade now isn't going to work. So they are going to have to modify the grade to level it out over time. And there's some drainage improvement and stuff that they have to do along the sides.
The bridge is right in the middle, so how's that gonna affect if they have to change the grade?
That's why you should join wetlands too.
Okay.
Who's sorry, I just want to see who came on.
Vicious over there.
I can imagine, yeah. This is more fun.
Yeah, I don't think that we'd end up with too much money from it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and you may never see the money. I don't know, I mean, maybe eventually.
Well, I might not
someday,
ever
but
see the money, but somebody might see the money.
maybe.
And like you said, though, I mean, it is a snapshot in time, and
Right,
Alir's not an old man.
no.
If the easement is join those other lots, the homes that's there.
What, that it would protect kind of not just this area, but all, like it kind of makes up, and it's a corridor, right, around this stream. The stream goes through these properties, but it's that kind of wildlife corridor that
Right,
follows the
like
stream.
If the
connecting-
property, the property doesn't sell, but instead gets inherited, does that consider, because don't you inherit it at the price that it was originally bought at?
Mm-mm. The basis is the moment the person dies.
I thought the basis was.
Basis is when you inherit. So if you were to sell it, your basis is when you bought it or when you inherited it. Right?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
But if when you inherit it, the
Yes, so-
basis is
All
the,
right, but can you continue the lien?
you're not gonna,
inherit
I don't know whether the lien has to be paid at that point. I
Well,
don't,
when the deed
don't-
is, when they have to modify the deed,
that's when it,
that's when they would
You
have
do
to,
modify-
they'd have to file
you do modify
that.
the deed at that point.
And then they would find the lien
Mhm.
when they were modifying the deed. That's
So
how,
that's almost like probate where you'd have to clear any debts, and that's
Mhm.
sort of a debt maybe?
yeah,
considered
that's,
a debt?
yeah, that's how it's enforced. When it, for reasons like you're saying, right, where it's like staff all turns over, no one remembers it anymore,
But it's on the
but the
land
lien is
record.
on the land record,
So what
so.
if he sells one of the units but not the other? How does that work?
Because it's only 2 lots, it would split it between the 2.
It was split proportionally.
In the shared driveway.
I think so.
I think it's per lot. It's not per like
So each lot would
size. So
have a
each
lien
lot
on
would
it.
have half the value of whatever the appraised value was. And then they would release, it would release in that way. But yeah, as soon as there was a change in ownership, that's when the release would happen.
How do they monitor the easement?
I would monitor the,
How
we,
would you do it? Would you
so-
physically go out or look in satellite?
what we do is I yearly, usually when it's kind of slow and I have some time, we have a big long list of them. There's one right here, and I'll go through and I'll just do like a little time lapse, and I'll just do a quick look.
Yeah,
And
just-
just
So
see.
is that why you found that other conservation easement that had a violation on it that she just remediated?
Yes,
Okay.
and some of them, like this one, I just happen to know this because I looked at it. But like, see this
Yeah,
structure
there's an
here?
encroachment, yeah.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff in these. And so I have sort of a like prioritization because I don't have infinite time to enforce these. But if it's done like within the past couple of years, since monitoring essentially, this has been there since aerial photos exist on this. It probably happened immediately, but it wasn't good monitoring prior to this. But so yeah, basically to answer your question, I would look, if I had any questions, I would go in person. We have rights to access for monitoring purposes, to send them a letter, be like, we're gonna be here on this date for annual monitoring or for monitoring, and then you just document it. And it's basically a separate enforcement route through the city attorney, because it's a contract essentially filed on the land record that they, or it's an encumbrance. It goes with the land, and we have a legal right to be able to enforce the terms of the easement. So, and in this case, it would be the easement and the wetlands. So, but this, it would allow it to get picked up. So, through the monitoring.
So when those rectangles that you have them on the yard in some cases.
This is just an exercise in like,
Figuring, so did that actually add up to the
yes,
acre?
roughly,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So funny, so prior to coming here, I worked in New York doing like educational programming for conservation commissions. And I had an exercise just like this, where I had like little paper cutouts and it was like design an easement. So I was just so excited to be able to actually use that in this case. And we had an NRI and we like overlaid all the layers and we looked at it here. There's not that much going on here. So I mean, it's really, we don't know much about it, but I thought the commission did really well with like looking at the larger context and like, yeah.
So if we say this is what we want, does the owner then have the opportunity to come back and say, well,
Repeal.
I don't like this for this reason, but how about over like where you were showing before? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
and then
basically,
we'd have to reconsider.
yeah.
It's gonna cost them less
Definitely.
money, I don't think he'll care.
I definitely like the idea of wrapping the easement right
Yeah, I
around
do
the,
I like it.
right around the wetlands edge and,
Keep people in check.
It's just hard because, I mean, it's a pretty small envelope for having 4 different families in this area, so it really does, you know, Wetlands Commission seemed uncomfortable with that. And so this is just another like assurance. And in fact, it will help the landowner, the property owner in the way that it'll give wetlands a better assurance when it comes to wetlands, like, hey, there's already, you have this much
There's an
level of
easement, yeah.
protection, like, you know, that'll benefit them. And yeah, they can't really access back here anyway. And if they had to get it, they'd have to pay for the appraisal.
Yeah.
Hey, George.
Hey.
They'd have to pay for the appraisal, they'd have to pay for, you know, all the stuff associated with that. Maybe it's just the appraisal.
I would think that they'd have to be paying their, whoever's, either their engineer or their surveyor to kind of make that all make sense, right?
They would have to pay to map it. So they'd have to map it and then they'd have to come up with easement language. I mean, we can provide them with the kind of boilerplate easement language that we've used, which is very like, don't dump, don't mine, don't clear trees, vegetation without approval, you know, that kind of, just very general sort of prohibitions against doing a whole lot, but allowing for like trails and, you know, hunting and that
Being
kind
said, a
of stuff.
lot could be cleared in 1 year's time, but they just have to replant. Yeah,
The interesting thing that you did say that could come up is that it is big enough for it to be a farm. And if it's wetlands, they could get approval to, you know, clear the whole thing.
right,
For a farm.
right.
And that would shoot them in the foot for that. I don't think that that's their intention to do
The-
that.
The easement would shoot them in the foot.
Yeah, I mean, we
And I
could,
think that that's good, honestly.
Well,
No, I
we-
really do, because, well, I mean, you're gonna have I don't know.
we've had a recent history of people
But you did say that
making up.
they could come back and ask for review to cross the property to get to a non-wetland portion of it.
If they had a problem with it in the terms of the easement,
Yeah.
that could be negotiated. I mean,
Yeah.
easements are custom, so you could,
Yeah.
they could say, for everything except for allowing, you know, yeah, right, this crossing in this area.
Well, and then the other thing, well, I mean, that is a solid line. It's definitely surrounded by wetlands. I'm just wondering if there's an area that you can kind of have maybe 2 bean-shaped, you know, easements with a way to get up to the upland
Yeah.
area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that,
It's hard to tell because like, look, so I mean, like I said, there was an older survey that kind of went like this
yeah,
and, you know, everything on that side was
Right.
wetlands.
you can see that's kind of steep up there too.
And then it kind of wrapped around this envelope here, but it didn't include all the wetlands here. So I think it was just, it was an older survey that wasn't of great quality.
So it's going uphill towards that corner, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised
okay,
if
yeah.
this is
Nice,
dry, you know?
Yeah.
But it's hard to know. So they would, I mean, that would be, the burden would be on them to furnish a wetland survey. But yeah, we couldn't show where like the best crossing location would be. Really, if they wanted to do it, and if they did do it, we would know from monitoring,
Right.
say, okay, you really want to do that, you know? But I think what, kind of getting back to the role of the commission here, I could, based on general, like a recommendation from the commission, I can do a memo and maybe I'll circulate it to everyone and we can kind of weigh in on that, but roughly saying an easement with this sort of rough area with these sort of conditions and then send it to them. And if they really are uncomfortable with that and they want to do a fee in lieu or something else like that, they're going to kind
They
of
can
prolong their
propose
own
it,
process.
yeah.
But I would assume it would have to go back to conservation for comment in that case.
Now,
And they,
you said that he's built plenty of houses before.
yeah,
Has he run into any situations with easements or anything of this sort? Can you
no,
recall?
he
Like,
ran
no
into,
issues with an easement or?
no, he violated the wetlands in this property and had to go to the Inland Wetlands Commission before he got this approval.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I try not to hold wetlands against people too much if they're not repeat violators, because it is, sometimes people just don't know and it just
Doesn't the map
happens.
change a lot too?
So the map is individual based on like whoever does the survey, you know, so
Yeah.
there are,
Subjective.
But we
Well-
only go by them for 10 years, right?
right. And this one did change from the last one. So, I mean, I guess the point being, he is a, you know, I think he's a pretty reputable guy, but there was a, you know, there was a violation of this, but not any easements. But I'm not familiar of him developing on any property that had easements, so I don't know.
Okay, so you're gonna put out a memo and then we're gonna. give you
Yeah,
our
so I
thoughts?
mean, maybe do a motion to authorize me to do a memo to a planning and zoning commission, just like subject to review based on this conversation or something,
Yeah,
you know, without
yeah.
having to specify the specifics.
Okay, so I need a motion to,
I'll motion, I think that's a good idea.
okay, and a second? Karen? All right, all in favor? Aye. All right, motion carries. Okay,
We can make room for the charge.
yeah, come on in. All right, so, the apple trees that we had for the Bannon Street planting, were being fostered at my house. And, Jeff was kind enough to pick them up, repot them?
Yep.
All right, and he's now fostering them.
Yeah, I sent you some pictures.
So
You did?
why didn't they get planted? I can't remember.
Well, Bannon Street wasn't a
Oh,
thing,
what's the
Bannon,
place
and
we
then
did?
the one that we did at Jigs Donahue,
Just Donahue,
not enough
okay,
light.
right.
For the
So then
apple.
at one of the recent, maybe the last one or the one before Conservation Commission, we were looking at our food forests, we were looking at Bowman Gardens, and there's a whole bunch of space, and I said
Okay.
we should plant the apple trees there. We're kind of trying to decide what to do with them. And, it's the right conditions, so we just need to wait for the right timing, which would be in the fall.
And we'd have to reach out to, the guy who coordinates it there. What's his name?
Yeah, he's the senior citizen dude.
Right.
Or you want to
For
talk
the
No,
land trust, we need the land
For the
trust.
land trust, but then also, I think the land trust would be okay with it, but the guy who lives up there,
Oh, Rick.
Bewley,
Yuli, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the, I mean, he's ultimately,
Bewley.
you know,
Mhm.
he's doing the maintenance and stuff like that, so we definitely,
He does, wow.
he would need to, know about it. So, I mean, I can try to does anyone have a relationship with him?
I know Richie. You know Richie
Well,
too?
his son is across from my old farm there.
Oh,
so-
okay, so yeah.
But it's just a footnote to the apple trees. They're, the roots are the ones that three of them, I sent you a picture, I repotted them, because I'm making up my own apple orchard across the street there slowly.
Yeah.
They're root bound.
Yeah.
And they're, hard root bound.
Mm-hmm,
And I took Miracle Grow soil and I made a whole thing and one of them's a little having a tough time and I showed you the pictures. I'm
I
thinking
didn't get
that,
pictures. When did you send me pictures?
right after the thing with the plywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be just a nice, it shows you the pots. I just think they need a little bit of time because one of them is a little iffy and then, because I was looking at some of the spots on them and to get it to be strong enough to go in there. And I was actually gonna bring up something that if we do this with the trees, maybe we could think about some other trees, like now that I'm growing apple trees now and the maintenance between the bugs and everything, I got bears up at the farm now and stuff destroying it. Maybe we could choose a different, I know the object is producing food, I get it. But what would be less maintenance?
Right.
For a tree, because I'm finding out through my mission here that the apple trees are very labor intensive, very,
Peaches are worse.
Are they really?
Yeah, you have to be there with them, because if not, they get infested, they get chewed on, they get,
Pawpaws.
every.
I hear pawpaws don't have a whole lot of pests.
Well, and that's what we put in at Jigs.
Yeah, pawpaws, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Really?
it's like our
Randy
tropical-ish
wants to put
fruit.
pawpaws in so bad.
I put pawpaws in.
Yeah, I have two
If
in
you
my
get
house.
pawpaws, Randy would love one.
Okay.
He wants to try it.
All right.
They take so long to produce, that's.
Yeah, I
that's-
mean-
Out of curiosity, so there
Yeah.
are like those shagbark hickories on Spencer Road, and as a kid, I would go down and collect the nuts and crack them. I mean, it was kind of a lot of work,
Mhm,
but,
mhm.
are those native, and is that
I think
something that we
shagbark
can
hickory,
grow?
they're huge though.
Yeah, they do.
Pawpaws are native.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that with the shagbark. They're gonna take a long time and they take a lot of space. because no one like grows them. That's a big thing too. But like even if it was more like you know, for
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe nobody's not the right word.
So the reason I brought this up
If you put
was,
some signage in.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that, because we brought up that the apple trees that were already planted somewhere are not doing well, right, and they're full of,
No.
when some of them put somewhere,
So the apple trees, I think you're talking about the ones across from Five Point,
I think so.
and they're doing fine. They need some pruning.
Hmm.
And I think that they need some pruning before they'll produce. Like, so I believe we have apples, pears, and peaches there. The peaches are produced like crazy. Nobody picks them. Like, they're, like, I think we need to have some programming around it, but that's the next order of business. But there's nothing wrong. They're not diseased. I think they just need some care.
Oh, wow, so across from 5 Points on Mountain?
Mhm.
No,
On
no,
University
on
Drive.
University Drive, I mean, yeah, oh, wow.
someone should go check that out now.
Because, yeah, my
Because now is the
peaches are,
time,
yeah.
because the
We should
peaches
do
would be,
Can we do a group walkthrough? Because I've never actually seen it myself.
we
Yeah, I
could
don't
do
mind doing
it.
a sidewalk.
Because
Yeah,
we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if I think I know where we're going with this, like if we're looking for people to help maintain it or bring it back to life,
Mhm.
restore it, there's 4-H clubs, like gardening clubs and stuff like that, and
And it's
we meet-
literally right across the
we
street.
meet right at that
Right.
area. So,
Right.
and Flanders, I know, has a club, so they might be willing to do some training and stuff.
well, I
So,
looked at the ones on Mountain Road, because I have a garden up there,
Mhm.
and they're not doing outrageous either, I mean,
Well, they're young.
yeah. Well,
They were only
But
planted a
which
year
which
ago.
ones? The peaches or the
the ones behind the cabana there,
right, some of them
So
are
you
peaches
have,
and some are
hazelnuts, blueberries, and peaches,
yeah.
right? Were they hazelnuts? We planted hazelnut
yes,
trees, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
That
gonna
seems-
They were,
Yeah,
they
I'm
were
sure.
planted at, practically bare root. They were itty bitty, so it's
okay.
gonna take
The
them.
peaches probably will be the first things to
Yeah.
start
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
anything if they're gonna do
Yeah.
something. But yeah, maybe we could
And I
do
would be
a site,
surprised that the peaches hadn't, they're pretty prolific.
maybe we could do a site walk to like all
To
those,
do all of
like,
them. We'll do a little tour.
yeah.
That would be fun.
Just because, yeah, now would be a good time, right? Because it's like you're still
Mm-hmm.
apples might be starting, or at least they're forming, right? And
apples are about ready to pick, I think.
depending on what, I just don't know which
Yeah.
varieties they are, but at the very least, they would be forming. And peaches would be now or just a little past, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, depending on the
Pears would be
variety.
forming, so,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea to me,
So
just
do we
so we
wanna
don't.
like figure out like a time? Like, were you gonna say Thursday?
It doesn't have to be, around my schedule in that way. Probably the same.
Automobile tires, and they were very convinced of it.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Let's see. What was you thinking? What, next Thursday or wait, or this Thursday?
Well, if peaches are gonna be like now,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm not around this weekend. I'm not around next weekend, but I have this Thursday and next Thursday. It's a possibility.
So this Thursday, I could do like around 5,
The 28th?
That would, the
21st.
21st, 2 days from
And the
now.
28th I can't do, but
Okay.
I don't have to be, I think we have a lot of plant people, so.
Yeah.
I don't have to be there, but that's for those 2 weekends. I mean, I can do
During the day
5.
doesn't work though.
I could do during the day too. I was thinking, could do, I could do like, I don't know, early afternoon on Thursday.
Thursday could work for me.
Hey, what time would it be on Thursday?
I guess early afternoon for me could mean like 1, 2, 3 possibly.
I could do one.
Thursday?
Think we'd be out there for a couple hours?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
If we just hit those 2 sites, I was just at Jigs because I was watering.
You watered there?
Yeah, I've been taking care of it. The person who we got to do
She's not doing
stuff,
it?
she just like totally ghosted. And then I ran into her in Walmart. She saw me and she was so upset. She was like, "I'm so sorry. Like, here's my like I promise I'll call." And that was like months ago. So
Okay.
I've just been doing it, but it's fine. I mean, everything is
Looks
okay.
good?
It's
Okay.
okay. You know,
It's
only-
been a
the-
stretch of no rain, so. it's
Yeah.
been tough for things.
I haven't been like completely faithful to being there weekly, you know,
Uh-huh.
but you know, it's very nice to have the irrigation there, to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the tank.
Mhm.
That site turned out to be really, really good. I'm glad we did that
Yeah.
one. But no, it's fine. I think they'll survive. And
Okay.
if we have to supplement a couple, I think the
Okay.
conservation district would probably
Just
help
throw in
us
whatever
with if we needed
lose,
a
if we
few.
lose something.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I've been I weeded that a little bit and watered it, so
Okay.
that's fine. And then there's nothing really to see. There's 2 blueberries on one of the plants, which is,
That's exciting. And I got that one strawberry.
yeah.
And the one
He
strawberry.
came in and gave me a strawberry after checking it out.
But, yeah, so,
Okay.
so I guess to answer your question, if it was 1 o'clock, you go to Mountain Road, we're there for 20 minutes at the most,
Yeah.
and then drive over to,
Well, then, and the other thing is that if
Five
anybody
months.
wants to meet at night, I can meet people out at night. If you want to do that, we could do 2 separate. If people are interested and want to go, like I know you're working, I'm working.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
week I think is
Yeah.
tough because I'm gonna be away for the weekend, so Thursday night I'll be
You're
working.
gonna be-
all
okay.
day, And I'll be getting ready to leave.
Well, if that's the case, then we could just do the afternoon one.
so 1 o'clock this Thursday, work for people?
That would work for me.
Not good for me.
Me too.
I'm not gonna be able to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
But I'm not gonna be able to go whenever it is.
Right, right, at this moment.
But if you wanted to go on your own, that's totally fine too. So maybe I'll do a note to show people where it is. You know, I mean, it's just, do you know where 5 Points is, where the cooperative extension is?
Parking
For the
lot.
old Yukon.
Old Yukon.
That's where they have the CSCA meeting where the parking lot is right there. And
Oh,
It's right across the street.
I'll give you an address and it's
Yeah,
right
it's
across the
easy.
street.
It's
Like,
easy.
Once you know where the entrance is, it's all farm. And then
You could
across the
go
street, there's a little farm road. and you'll
Marshall
see all
Lake
the trees.
Road to Norfolk Road to that windy thing past what's that crazy road? That goes up to University Drive, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
back
yeah, I know
way.
what you're talking about, yeah.
But
Okay, so.
What is that road?
I can't remember the name of that road.
So where are we gonna meet? So are we gonna start by meeting at Bowman or are we gonna start by meeting at University?
I'm not sure whether I'll be able to make it at 1. I have a doctor's appointment in the middle of the day. I think I should be back. And then I don't know if I actually can during hours, so.
Gotta
I'll
ask your
see. I
boss.
gotta ask my boss,
Um,
but,
So the first
so
site's
don't ask me.
Bowman Gardens.
That's fine. Bowman works good for me first. Then,
Jeff's point about the apple trees.
And that was a great thing.
I don't-
about hazelnuts, because I was actually gonna bring that up in
Oh, really?
hazelnuts and because it's a less maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
right.
I think if
So
we do
the
need
trees are Already
maintenance,
sort of, not great, do we wanna?
I thought they were doing pretty good. I mean, they are definitely root bound. Like they're a big tree in a teeny pot right now, is what they are.
Do you have to cut the root? Like,
You-
is
you
it
have to-
best to just like cut the
It-
structural roots kind of?
I think so.
I think
you
on
have
the
to trim
bottom, just
root.
rip them apart a little bit, no?
Well,
I think
these
it's
are gonna
beyond
be,
that.
it's beyond that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
so
really
they
that bad,
need
huh?
to be,
So I got them in 3 big pots. I actually went and bought, I'm a disciple of this apple orchard guy down in, North Carolina where I'm
Mhm.
getting all my root stock from.
Yeah.
And I took this Miracle Grow stuff and I like made the mixture. I broke apart bark for the bottom and
Mhm.
stuff, and I got them
Oh, wow.
in
What
these
if-
big
What
pots.
if we wait until the spring, let them have a chance to?
And that's what I was gonna.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're
Well, it
reading-
works for
reading
me.
my
I
mind
mean,
over
hey,
here.
I don't mind.
And it gives us some time to kind of figure it
to
all
do the
out.
logistics, because
Yeah.
fall is around the corner.
And one
Okay.
one of them's a little. It was the graft was done on it. So you got this like the brown shaft that comes up, and then you got this shiny. I think it's a Granny Smith one. It's
Yeah.
pretty. That one's a little. Not sure.
That's interesting, because that was the one that had apples. That one actually had apples on it. It's kind I mean, I have that happen all the time where I have a tree that has a bunch of apples and it just drops them before they,
Well, sometimes it's like a stress response
yeah,
to fruit.
to try and fruit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that might be a good idea to just like see how they do, how they overwinter, and if they start to recover.
Yeah, you can see in the picture what I did.
Okay. All right, and then let's move on to, okay, so I sent a request to Judith McElhone to conduct programming at 5 Points. I sent her a letter and I found the old article of when it was planted, and the letter from the University of Connecticut allowing us to
Sorry, I was supposed to
do
give you this.
it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Is it on park?
Anyway, it turns out that 5 Points had no idea they owned our food forest. They were like, we don't own it. It's not our, what do you want from us? It's not ours. We don't own it. And then Nate did a little research and sent them the information that they do indeed own it. And then we haven't heard back, right?
She's disputing that, and she's talking to her attorneys.
Really?
Yeah.
Love it.
So they don't want it?
Though that's what I was
I
kind
think
of
it's
like, well, if
great.
we want it.
Yeah, well, it's ours. It's
If you wanna
mine.
do
I
it,
knew it was
then.
mine. I always knew it was
They're
mine.
saying that the piece of land that it's on is not theirs?
So it's a really complicated story because of the whole Yukon connection there, but the broad brush is that Yukon owned the whole thing, right? I guess the city used to own Town Farm, which is the property across the street, used to own it a long time ago, but then Yukon took the whole thing. Then Yukon, when they were closing the campus, they gave the city of Torrington the land that used to be theirs on the other side of the road from the campus. And then the side of the campus, they gave to Yukon with to Torrington too, with the understanding that they were gonna give it to 5 Points for $1 or something like that, or do some kind of agreement. So there's this big complicated thing that ultimately was gonna end up with 5 Points owning one side of the road and Torrington owning most of the other side. But then there was a carve out for the septic. So it's the septic for that campus is out in the middle of the ag field on the other side of the road. And so Judy's perspective is, well, we only own the septic in the ag field. But our assessor records and the deed shows that they got the whole 10 acres.
Yeah,
But like I said, I mean, if we want,
but if they don't want
I
it,
kind of said, well, if we want to
What you
take,
just said, that town got that piece and then the other went to 5 Points. But then now you're saying, no, 5 Points got the whole piece.
there's
and the
more
town-
than just the 10 acres.
let me,
There's-
I'll show you,
Man, that's gotta be a huge, complex.
it is, it's very large.
Has to be
Yeah,
huge,
yeah.
and it's-
Yeah.
Then
Have you ever
growing.
gone to Risca's apple orchards?
Pardon?
Risca, you ever been up there?
No, sir.
If you're into it, he's got a beautiful, he's right above Sanesfield, right in Massachusetts, close to you. Check it out. He's got some great apple.
I'm getting ready to clear some of my land up there on Mountain Road, once we get done with the.
Anyway.
Well, that's interesting. What is that?
So this is the parcel that has the campus on it. This is another parcel. This is the parcel that has the leach field on it, and this is another parcel. It doesn't let me zoom to the right extent here, so.
Where the apple trees?
The apple trees
The apple trees
are
are
right
right
there.
here.
That's the little orchard.
So there's a little parking lot, there's a pull off there, and this is the main area to get to the,
What is that
Property.
thing?
Part of the
I've never
leaching
noticed that
field
before.
property.
that's an art, it's their planting beds that they made in the shape of a, so only we get to really enjoy the level of,
Wow.
how cool that looks. But anyway, so right now, so that complicated agreement, so 5 Points owns this. 5 Points owns this.
They don't want it.
They don't want it. City of Torrington owns this, which is a beautiful, it is the best conservation
it's
property.
great,
It's
yeah.
not a conservation property, it's a city-owned property, but it's, there's like rare species, plant species on it. It's great. It's all, and still water's right here,
Very
right?
valuable.
Yeah,
Oh, wow, it goes right there, huh?
yeah, so it'd be a great connection for a
270.
trail,
Wow.
right? If we could have a
Kind of
trail
weird how
down
it's
to,
so easy not to know where you are in
I
Torrington.
know, I know. But it's hilly on the,
Yeah.
on the.
right,
on
it's
the-
really
there.
steep.
That property had extremely.
Well, yeah, for this area here, for single family home, because there's no sewer service, so you couldn't really develop the hell out of it. But you could put some houses, some single family
I
homes
couldn't even
here.
imagine what that's
here.
worth.
And then this piece here is still owned by the city, but in the agreement with 5 Points, they're gonna get it in like,
Which I
20
don't understand. Why would
years.
they want to give it up?
I have no idea.
I don't get it,
I
but
don't-
whatever.
But yeah. So anyway, so yeah, so the point is that they don't want, they just want, let's see, can we
They
pick,
just want their septic.
right, can we pick it out from, yeah. That's the
Map.
septic, that's the leach
Yeah.
field. That area there.
That's quite a.
How could they, yeah, how could they own that one little piece in?
It doesn't make any sense, because on their deed, they show this survey of this piece, and it's like a property description, it's the whole, and it was all done, it was very
I
complicated.
just love, I
transaction.
love that there's a community garden, people are growing for,
No, she's like, that's yours, you guys, and so it's like, so no one knows what's going on here,
I-
that's what you're saying.
hey, if she thinks it's ours, I think it's, like you said, it doesn't really matter because nobody's gonna pay taxes on it. It's either a nonprofit or the city,
Right,
right?
right.
Like,
And that, from that perspective, yeah, that, it's not like, yeah. It's not taking money off the tax rolls.
we need a lot line revision.
Yeah, we could do that, I mean,
Yeah,
I-
let's just, yeah, go for it.
but anyway, so she'll probably never get back to me, so we'll, I don't know, I guess I'll just follow up.
Yeah,
Um,
my proposal is that, that this is a great area to do like a pruning workshop. Since it's something that needs to happen anyway, we get an arborist who can go and we have some volunteers.
or people from
Right,
Extension.
Right,
Yeah,
Are there orchardists there, or?
well, the 4-H club is gonna be kids, so if you're looking for
Well,
like long-term
that's even
care,
better, right.
But yeah, if there's like, workshops or something like
Right,
that, that would
so,
definitely.
Then the other
be
thing I
open
was
to
thinking is when we
4-H.
get them up and going again, I think we should have like harvest parties, cider pressings and stuff like
Oh, that'd
that.
be really cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, since the trees are all there, I mean,
Right.
everything is
Yeah.
producing and,
How tall are the trees and how many?
They're,
Like 40 footers or
no,
something?
No.
they are
they
like not
dwarfs? They must
dwarfs,
be.
but they're like, there's
Semi-dwarf?
semi-dwarf, yeah.
I think that they might be dwarfs,
Might be
because they're
dwarfs?
not, because
They're
they're
not
not
huge. They are
tall.
not
They
huge.
would be at least 20 feet if they were
If they were
dwarfs, right?
semi-dwarfs?
If they were semi-dwarfs, they'd be at least 15
Oh,
feet.
I
And
think
those things look like
they're
they're
not
10
15
feet.
feet?
They look like 10
more like
feet.
10 feet, okay.
Usually dwarfs.
could be dwarfs.
Stock, I got it.
I wanna check them out, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're right
So it's right
here.
across, it's a dirt road right across the street there then?
I wanna
Yeah.
talk to you after.
It's not even like, it's paved,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just poorly paved.
Yates.
Oh, poorly paved?
I mean, it's old, the pavement is old, so it's
Okay.
going back to gravel.
Do you guys have more than 30 trees there?
Oh, no.
No.
No,
Okay.
So let's see if we can see
maybe,
them from the
maybe there
road.
were, and I think some of them died. Some
Oh,
of them
there it
might
is.
have
Okay.
been
This,
like,
but you can't see, it's behind.
yeah.
Yeah, I've tried rubbernecking and trying to see it.
No, you gotta
I've never
drive
been able to
in
see
for
it. That's the other
sure.
thing, we should do a site walk, because I can't see it
Yeah.
from the road.
Yeah. Oh, this must be a state road. Cause Yukon, right?
Yeah,
See where the line ends?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that's where I go to the union meeting over there for the DSCA.
Oh, University of
Right across the
Connecticut
street.
Grange. Okay, so that's that.
Well, so with that, I guess just to close that, so we're waiting for her to know anything.
mhm,
So I should just keep on.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I like the idea of suggesting a line revision. And then maybe we go to or maybe it just comes to the Conservation Commission. Maybe it's ours.
And that is, just to say that again, that is a beautiful piece of property.
Yeah,
It is. Oh, absolutely.
my
Yeah.
Goodness.
And right now, for a little bit more color on it, Butch Klug is haying all this with the city has no agreement
No
with
use or
them.
anything, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just out there doing it. And I was
Wow.
like, when I came in, I was like, we should get an agreement to cover ourselves because it's just happening, and he was totally down with it. I mean, it was gonna be like a $1 consideration or, something very nominal and
So he's harvesting hay on
yeah. on all these pieces.
You're making bank. There's some good money.
Wow.
So, and I don't know if he does this property, but I
Okay.
think someone else does that.
Okay. I don't really have anything about the Purple Martins, but
I think every nine.
Mary Guilfoyle approached me and asked if we could collaborate on Purple Martin housing. She was thinking at Bowman Gardens, and I think Jeremy and Nate were brainstorming some other possible locations. But again, there's really not any information. I haven't heard from Mary about it
I'm
since.
sorry,
but-
what's Purple Martin? House?
Purple martins are a type of swallow that are kind of like this dark bluish red purple color, and they are 100% reliant on being adjacent to humans. And they need, so, you know,
They like
there's
little
different,
hotels.
yeah, you make these hotels for them.
Well,
And
what do they need from the humans?
the hotels.
Oh.
They don't have, I think are they bank? Like, what do they usually nest in? Is it wood cap? Like maybe
I
they,
don't know, but they live in colonies, like that's the whole thing. So I don't really,
Was
I don't
this
really
to,
know.
like, to support like rats or any other initiative, or it was just to?
no, it was to support, I think it was about
Wow.
having them eat the black flies at Bowman Gardens, I think was what she was thinking.
Oh, cool.
You know, the biggest problem at Bowman Gardens is rabbits. Tearing up everything over there.
I just wanted to see if they're actually like threatened or
No, I
it's a
don't think,
species of, it's improved,
They live close to humans because the predators.
species of special concern. So they're, as far as the state of Connecticut goes, they're kind of the third tier of protected status. So they do have a formal protected status from the state. So it would be kind of more of a just conservation of rare species type situation. But I did look into it a little bit. Jeremy Lyford, our city planner, was a deep bird biologist for years prior to this. So I was like, oh, this is great. I'll just ask him. And he didn't really know anything about purple martins. I mean, he put up the boxes, but he wasn't really didn't specialize in them. But I looked into it a little bit today, and my recommendation would actually be Toro. I think Toro would be, because so the thing that they really need is they need access to water, and they need open areas that away from houses and trees. So, and they like meadows. So here it's, I guess it's a lot of manicured lawn there for the ball fields, but there's a lot of adjacent sort of like this power line corridor that's mowed periodically. The whole Army Corps project has all this like unmowed sort of, and that produces a lot of insects, and that's what they feed on. But they also like big water features, and so the Naugatuck goes by
Would be
here
good.
too. So this, I think that we should just if they build the boxes and we just need to facilitate
yeah, where?
working with the city to make it happen. I think this
So I
is
think the
Is there
boxes
different places to put
end up coming
Yeah.
in this program. The
Oh.
boxes come from the Audubon Society,
okay.
I believe.
So they already make them.
I
They're
think
already
so.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming up Newfield Road where the park is, you have all those wetlands over there, right?
Mhm.
Like you have like some fields and stuff that I think, the Weichels, I think they hay those,
But that's all owned by the state.
Oh, you
That's
can't
Sunnybrook
put
State
anything on
Forest.
that?
Well, we could talk to the state about
Yeah,
it.
Hogman, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Have Mary.
'Cause that's when I
Well,
first
I-
met you.
Mary's
But yeah,
gonna talk to
but
the
there's
state
all
about
these,
it.
like wetlands over there, so like what
Yeah.
you were saying, I'm like, oh, that feels like it would be. a
No, that would be the
spot.
perfect type of location.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always bring that up to deep. It's just, obviously there
Yeah.
with the state forest,
I know.
Okay.
Walnut come over that far?
yeah.
Or is that Sunnybrook?
Sunnybrook,
The other side
Sunnybrook
of the
comes up
road.
there, but the other side I think is Cogna.
Yeah.
'Cause my land butts up against Sunnybrook.
Right. So you go down to Sunnybrook and then, where Newfield Road, Newfield Road, the other side goes all the way up to Walnut Mountain and up to Burr Pond from there.
I didn't realize Walnut came over that far.
Oh, it's
That's cool.
awesome.
Learned something today.
So I guess I'll reach out to Mary this month.
Yeah. And I mean,
Okay. Find out more information. Okay. Old business owl boxes.
do you guys, I mean, I don't need to present, I mean,
So basically, I sent a letter out to Vern, the president of Iflin Lumber, and gave him that it was kind of like a PR thing for for our rat issue and for the Red Mountain Trail. And, you know, to just kind of have an end to educate around rodent mitigation and prevention that's more environmentally safe with, you know, maybe some modest behavioral changes instead of like indiscriminate poisons and stuff like that. So I just initially asked for 1 sheet of plywood because that makes us 2 owl boxes. And I figured that that was probably what we needed for the Red Mountain Trail. But Nate chatted with Vern as well, and he donated another sheet as well. And then we're having trouble contacting our Oliver Wolcott teacher.
Yeah, so Karen had sent me the contact from the shop teacher at Oliver Wolcott. It took me a while, but I ended up reaching out to him late last semester, so like around April, May, and or maybe even a little earlier. And we were like, we missed this year, we missed this semester, but we'll do it in the fall semester. And he was all fine with it. He said we just need the materials, which again I guess brings us, we don't have hardware for it.
Right.
I don't know if you have a hardware list, but that's something that maybe we can get from.
Yeah, I think it's on this. Basically, I
Depot or
think it was
something.
you had to get stainless steel because using pressure treated plywood. I found this really great article that's from Bird Observer, and so it's a 2-part article, and he talks about this initial nest box that was built, and then a number of years later how they improved them. But he's like, they're just not going to last if it's not pressure treated. But if you get it in the summer and let it while it's wet and just let it dry out so that you build in the fall, the drier wood, and you have to use stainless steel deck screws too.
Definitely.
Yeah, PT, I don't know, what are balusters? PT balusters attached.
Pressure treated balusters.
to the
I used to work in a
interior.
lumberyard. So
Yeah.
balusters are when you're making stairs. Those are the things in the middle,
Okay,
the baluster posts.
okay.
And then there's a,
And stainless steel deck screws, okay. So anyway, there's this whole, I've posted all of this, I think, on the
So they're saying to use pressure treated?
website. You've got to, yeah,
Okay.
you're supposed to use pressure treated.
Okay.
So are you just thinking maybe he's just not back in school yet?
Well, possibly. Yeah, I wasn't sure how early they go to prep and if it's like for shop classes, what they do for that kind of thing. I called them 3 times this summer and I didn't hear anything back.
hey, could I do just a tiny footnote?
Yeah.
So I went to Iflin's today, and I think Bill Iflin, I don't know if he's one of the Iflins. He picked out 2, took a minute to, you know, when I introduced myself, they had the slip in the office. He picked out 2 gorgeous pieces of like 1/2-inch freshly treated plywood. I took a picture of it in my truck. I attached it to that thing too. So when I was 18 years old, I'm not going off on a tangent, I promise. I worked at Grossman's. So and I paid attention to my pressure treated wood training. So the recipe for that is chromated copper arsenate, and they just changed the recipe soon.
Right.
So when you get pressure treated wood that fresh, you can't paint it for like a year.
Mhm.
And then there's a whole, yes, you can use it for owls or something, and then some of the purists don't want to use pressure treated wood
Right.
for hazardous stuff. But the 2 sheets that I have, and this might help you with the Oliver thing, I won't go off on a long thing. I'm gonna put them in my barn, one of my barns, and let it dry out. They're fresh right out of, they take the big bundle and they put it in like a big pressure cooker to get all that preservatives
Right.
to it. And they're the list price on the slip I just gave you, I think it's like $43, and they're like 27 something, and they're beautiful 1/2-inch, but they're fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So they do,
So it might be good to wait till
We do
spring.
need to.
that's where, long way around, that's where
Okay.
I
Okay.
was going.
Well, that's good. This is, you know, all good things take a long
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the phone number, because I originally was the one to talk to him. Maybe that was his school phone number. I don't know if that was like a personal phone number.
Yeah, this was just this was an extension to his office.
Okay.
I can try to look through again to see if I talked to him on, no, I used the message that you had forwarded me. You forwarded me like his actual message that he left with the number on it. So,
So
I mean, I can just keep at it. I mean, if we have to wait
once
anyway
school
for the
starts
wood.
up, maybe that would be.
Yeah, exactly. He'll at least be there and then we can schedule it
Mhm.
for the spring. I kind of felt like we were getting late anyway, because I assume he's got projects queued up for the students, or, I mean, I guess I don't really know, but,
In the minutes, it said that I had offered a sheet of plywood,
Mhm.
kind of implying that I had a piece of plywood to give. I don't have
Oh, no,
plywood.
you know what? Jeff said that he had plywood. You said you would
I
donate.
said I would
plywood.
donate money
Yeah,
for
for plywood, yeah. Yeah.
Just so you know, like, if you need to dry it out and they can make more than 4 boxes.
we
I'll
could
give-
do
I'll
that.
give money to
To
donate it, but
donate for another, okay.
I also don't have a truck. So
Yeah.
like that, really, it's just the
Yeah.
money. That's all I'm getting.
Well, I'll talk to him and see if he's like rearing needs a project, he's like, I've been counting on this, then we'll go ahead and maybe take you up on that and,
So the plywood that I have, like, cause you see what I got going on up there, I got stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Between 3 barns. I do have plywood, but that marine gray or that pressure treat stuff is stuff I don't.
Yeah,
You
you,
can't
yeah.
use it for housing or
Right.
animals and stuff.
right,
So the plywood that I do is it's old,
Mhm.
it's nice, but it's just old, but it's not pressure treated.
right.
Yeah.
So we,
And I think this is fine, because it's,
Yeah.
but it's true, once it's up in this tree, like, how
Right.
well maintained is it gonna get? And if
Right.
you're going to the trouble to install it, you might as well let it, off
and you brought
gas.
up
And
the thing too, where if because they're up so high, installing them and then raffling off. Remember you said something
Yeah,
about,
if we had
uh,
extras, we
public-
could sell them
Yeah.
or raffle
People
them.
love that in bat boxes, bat
Yeah.
houses.
Right.
Yeah.
Love them.
I think you're right. Okay, so I guess I'll take that I'll still keep Adam, and if I during the school year, I'm not able to get in touch with him, maybe you can talk to your friend again, and I can, maybe something happened, maybe he, switched positions, or I don't know, who knows?
Okay.
But I think you're right, it's the summer, who knows? But I'll try during the school
Yeah,
year.
because I know she's not back yet.
And that's a slip from Iflin's. to Ms.
I got it.
there.
Okay, next is the staff update.
So, so the open space inventory, so I guess I broke that out for Feeland. We were gonna do Greenbrier, and that has just been, I don't even remember where we left that.
We're waiting to see if we were supposed to talk to the owners and, be a little more strident with them about getting on.
Right, well, because part of it was that, I think I talked to Jeremy about this, and it's like, well, how pushy are we gonna be about this if we don't have any imminent project in mind? Like, if it's way,
If you
it kind
have
of
any
be,
kind of imminent project, you can't even look at your land.
it's true. No, I think we have a reasonable reason. He was just kind of like, well, if you don't have anything going on in there right now anyway, it's kind of like, I think maybe he was referring to us like clearing it ourselves and then charging them, that's like
That's excessive.
kind of excessive.
Well, I just think we should ask them to clear it for us and say, or you could let us go on this other route.
Right.
But the fee land inventory, that was like, we're getting to the end of our open space inventory, and then we have the land is that stuff what's the fee land?
Fee land is the stuff that we own in fee simple, so it's like, it's,
We own it outright.
we own it. Easements, that's, we don't own the land, we just have rights over like an encumbrance on the
Mhm.
land, and so that's a separate, so I just wanted to break those out, just because there's a little bit of a separate monitoring. Fee land, we're kind of going to them, we're checking them out, we're assessing them, evaluating them. The easement, I'm really just kind of running over the aerial photos and seeing if anything jumps out and kind of prioritizing it. So I'm gonna make a note about following up with that. Other than Greenbrier, I mean, we could schedule another appointment and go to another one of the properties.
Schedule something for September. And then we also have the HVA crossing. We have
Yeah,
the 2 more or the 3 more?
there's at least 2 more. I think one of them was because there was a really big one that she kind of just drew a big circle from like Torringford Street all the way to Burr Pond. It was just like, how about this? And it incorporates Winstead Road, Route 8,
Yeah.
Right.
Torringford Street, and
Like
then
that one, I'm,
El Grasso. I'm like, this is insane. We're not like that. That's like 5 roads. And she did say, she's like, I don't mean you to go on Route 8. Like, don't do that. Don't evaluate don't pull over on Route 8. But I almost wonder, I don't know, maybe it's not even worth it. I think she kind of was like, this looks interesting. I don't even know if I really believe her that that's a viable wildlife corridor. Although I guess you hit a bear in
I
that,
hit a
in
bear.
that
The
spot.
bear hit me, Nate. The bear hit
The
me.
bear hit you, yeah. Is that what you told the insurance company?
The bear did hit me.
Oh, it ran into the
It
side
ran
of the
right
car?
into the side of the car.
So maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, about, I just don't even know how to, I guess we could do like Winstead Road.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I would like either leave that for them or leave it
Yeah.
last, just because or do it in chunks. I mean, I don't really get,
And the other 2 was one was like by Timber Lake, if you know where that is, at the top of Highland Ave, like way at the end of Highland Ave, on almost the Litchfield line. And then the other one was Burr Mountain Road on the Winchester line. So they're like, opposite sides of the city. Those are the last 2, other than the other one.
so do we want to schedule?
Yeah, maybe, I guess my recommendation would be to just take the fee land and kind of, maybe I'll take one last attempt to go there. And if we can schedule something soon for the HVA, it's also the weather's getting more pleasant. So if we can, at the next meeting, schedule like a couple October,
Yeah.
do the open space thing then, the leaves are starting to get down, maybe it's better for that. I don't know. That's just my
Okay.
suggestion.
Okay. What's next?
Do you want to schedule a HVA crossing?
Yeah. Do you guys want to? We could do one. Does anybody have time in September?
I don't, my September is crazy.
Okay. Oh, anyone else? Because we can wait until November too.
I mean, weekends, no. If it's during the week, I can break away.
How about you, Nate? What's your schedule like?
For September?
Yeah.
Pretty open, I think. Not going away anywhere anyway. Yeah, I mean, we could do like
I won't be back till the 6th, so that first weekend.
okay. We could do like the Thursday, the 11th. Doesn't have to be a Thursday if we're doing it during the day.
September 11th?
Oh, that is September 11th, yep.
Yeah, we take a pass on that.
That's fine. Let's see.
It's like the only day I'm wiped out.
The following week,
18th?
we do the 18th. Is any preference on time?
I won't be able to do a Thursday.
We don't have to, we
The
don't,
kids have a class and just,
So either, I mean, I'm okay with any of those.
what about
It
like,
would have to be later,
right?
5 o'clock or after.
So I could do 5 on Thursday. What are we getting at?
Which one was this,
sunrise?
the 11th or the 18th?
18th.
Okay. When do I have a? P and Z is probably on the 17th, right?
I don't think so.
No?
Maybe.
I'm not too far from Burr Pond, so I think,
Maybe I just don't have P and Z in here yet. Oh yeah, P and Z's on the 10th.
Oh, that's right, he's
Jeremy
changing
moved
it.
it.
Yep, okay.
Would anyone else be able to do 5 at 5 o'clock on Thursday the 18th?
Oh, the 18th, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Let's see here.
I'll put it in, I probably can go.
Yeah, I could do.
All right, I'm gonna just pencil it in and then I'll send
Okay.
a reminder and we'll see. We're gonna try to do 2 of them,
Yeah, let's try and do 2.
just knock it out.
Yep,
Just say there's one here and one on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, we get on the highway, but it's still not close to the highway, right? It's not ideal. We can try one location and then if people feel ambitious, otherwise we can wait.
mm-hmm,
Not a big deal to wait too.
right.
It's a pleasant activity. So I'm gonna say HVA assessment at 5 o'clock on Thursday, the 18th. And I'm gonna say we can do the one on Weed Road. And I'll give you a location to park.
Okay,
I'll have to figure out where, but
all right, so that's that. Red Mountain Trail?
sorry, let me just okay, that's fine. Red Mountain Trail. Yeah, I guess all I will say is that we got all of our approvals through planning and zoning and a little bit of a hiccup with an easement from Eversource. And the city's assessing whether or not we want to redesign the whole thing.
What? Because of
Why?
an Eversource issue?
Because they could withdraw permission at any time. So if we develop an area over there was an easement or a right of way?
Yeah, I don't really want to discuss it too much because I know I guess what I'll say is it's not fully thrown out yet. Our city engineer is going back to Eversource, but yeah, roughly it's because of the terms of the easement may not be acceptable to the city. Or the terms of the allowance for the easement.
So where would the money come to redesign? I mean, it's already been sort of.
I would hope, so the good news about it is that it wouldn't be that, the redesign wouldn't necessarily have to be super complicated. It's still gonna be a redesign, but, so right now, the trail, there's a parking lot that's proposed for here. The trail would come from the north, and then it would go onto Ocean State property and meet up with McDermott. You can see where they were already preparing to have it cross here and do a multi-use trail on McDermott. What would happen in this case is it would continue straight and it's all flat rail bed with no water, no wetlands or anything. Just continue to here and then meet up with the right of way on North Elm. So it's not a complicated redesign. In fact, our engineer is even saying he doesn't think that they'd have to redesign the parking lot. And so it could be actually a simple approval from planning and zoning, a simple modification, wouldn't have to go back to wetlands. So it's not like oh my gosh, we have to redesign the whole project, but it is,
So how would you connect?
to the south.
Yeah.
So it would
Like
go.
how would people connect? What?
So there's a parking area here, so that's where we would be pushing people to this parking area. But the connection to the south would be get onto here. You go down the sidewalk on this section of North Elm, and then this signalized intersection is still gonna be modified through the grant to provide a crossing here. So this is a horrible signalized intersection, but we're already working with the state to get that modification. It's gonna be like a painted crosswalk and they're gonna redo the phasing of the signal, I guess. But then it connects on the sidewalk here to the bike path on Prospect Street. So the original connection was gonna be this crossing and then it was gonna go, this was gonna be a 10-foot multi-use path along McDermott, and then the crossing was gonna come here and then through Ocean State. Now it's gonna cut through here, or not now, but
Maybe.
it may be. At worst case scenario, it would cut through here and then go here,
So now if you're on a bike though, you're gonna have to bike in the road,
or walk it on the sidewalk.
which is not
Right.
ideal.
No, I mean, ideal would be getting some kind of mid-block crossing. There's all kinds of ideas being thrown around. And again, in this moment, the connection isn't great, no matter which way we slice it. My special disappointment, which Christine knows, is that I wanted to improve the connection between Goodwin Street and the neighborhoods here in the plaza. And so it was going to provide kind of like a way to walk through there that was slightly improved and less sketchy. Now there's going to be a trail. This is all going to be barricaded off. So it's going to be worse. So these neighborhoods are actually going to lose connection to the plaza, which they're using to go shopping and all this.
Right.
Well, because we wouldn't want an informal access to an off-property site, right? So
I
it's,
think that sucks,
why?
because there's been a historical informal,
well,
you know what I mean?
so the informal
Like,
path
The
exists.
culture,
Why
the
do you need to
culture.
barricade it if they choose to walk off of the path at that point?
Well, it's not so much like, we're gonna put up like electric fence. It's more that the way that they're gonna construct the parking lot, the parking lot's gonna go here and then there's gonna be a grade change. And right now, it's just a dirt path that goes down into the parking
It's like
lot
a
here.
goat trail.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ocean State does not like that because this is all the trucks circulate through the back of the lot here. And they have people coming right out into the spot here. So we were gonna move everyone onto this to move over here. Now, this is where the easement is that would be restricting our access. So we couldn't formally build a trail here. And Ocean State wouldn't want us putting people out onto the grass here. The best case scenario is there's no physical fence keeping people off the property and they have to beat a herd path off onto this spot here, which they may do, or Ocean State may say, we don't want this informal access, and they may shut it off themselves. It's not it's hard, right? Like, we wouldn't be actively trying to keep people away, but it would be making it harder for people. When the point was to make it easier. But
And where's Eversource's problem?
so this island here, or this grass area,
Yeah.
there's a conduit, a distribution conduit that comes through here and then goes into the plaza at an angle.
Oh.
And so they have bunkers here underground. They have bunkers here, and so they I don't want to get too much into it because it's not dead yet. But anyway, like I said, our engineer, I think, is keen, like all of us, to not let it die, but at the same time, the city needs certain assurances, and if Eversource can do things that can jeopardize the project in the long term, it's not very good investment to make for the city if it can be undone. So that's where we're at with this. Yeah.
So close.
I know.
We're getting there.
It's still
We're getting
moving.
there.
It's the pace of government.
I've been around for the entire project,
Which when did the idea formulate?
like right around the time, it was like in 2006, maybe 2007.
20
So,
years, almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
but the
Yeah.
property had to get purchased through grants.
I mean, it was still owned by the railroad company when we were looking at it, but that was my neighborhood. I was like, there's a great railroad and everybody uses it already and it goes up to, I mean, my thing was I wanted it going up to the top of Red Mountain where the Heron Rookery and the Beaver Meadows and the Beaver Ponds are, like right in downtown.
So, yeah, so
We don't own any of that land.
it's a long path, but we'll keep trying. I mean, I'm still working on the grant. I still have the grant open for this. And so at the very least, it will come through here. If it can't come through here, it will come through here. And I will try to make sure that we don't put too much barricades here. And if Ocean State has to block people from coming in, then that's kind of their prerogative. But you think that they also want people to come onto the
they
property
want
to
Right.
shop.
I mean, that's
So,
Yeah.
it's kind of a, what level of informal
Especially with
use?
the trail right there, like that, they're gonna have a lot of people using it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that neighborhood is big, and everybody in that whole neighborhood uses, like, every young person in that neighborhood uses that to go and,
And I'm sure
into that
more
plaza.
older people would probably use
Yeah.
it if it was less weird,
right,
if it was more
Right.
formalized.
That's where all the loading, that's the back lot.
I know, and that's why
Where there's a lot of people back there and take pallets. I was just buying a pallet jack. And,
yeah,
I can see why they don't want people back there.
I will
Right.
say that I lived there for 12 years on Goodwin Street, and I used it all the time,
Really?
and I used the path all the time, and I never once saw a truck.
They usually do it in the mornings,
Yeah.
like pretty early,
Yeah.
but they, they're still concerned about, and it's just access management. They don't want an informal path that's going down into the,
Yep.
so. Anyway, so I will continue to provide updates on that. But in this project, we weren't looking till starting construction till next season anyway at this point, just because of, everything, so.
Just one question, how long does the path go through the woods? From the back, from like, say, the loading docks back there to
To here.
you said the path goes to Goodwin Street.
Oh,
Oh,
well, Goodwin is right here.
Okay.
And then this is where, so it's just this little, there's even a dirt area
I didn't
here.
realize
It's a
it.
very tiny little, it's just a little goat path,
sandy,
Yeah.
It's like
rocky.
a hiking path right there now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So will that be paved, that whole path?
But the road-
this one, yeah, this whole thing it'll be like a
It'd be
wide
really nice if they
multi-use.
connected to like Newfield, and then like up Newfield, they made that nice, they have a path that goes alongside the road and just connected those two.
Oh, like yeah, that's probably gonna be difficult because of all the like guardrail and how fast people drive on there.
Yeah,
But there is,
but it goes up the. like,
Well,
there's
it
a
ends at
slope, and then there's,
Newfield
like, a
Road.
Flat part, it'd
um,
be really nice.
So where is this path?
There's a
that
path
you
that
speak
runs
of?
alongside where like the dam is.
so it's,
Oh,
So like if you see the dam to the left, like you'll see that it kind of goes up to a hill, but it flattens out at the top. There's like a trail, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's,
not the trail across the street. There's a trail that goes along the road?
yeah, not down at this part.
oh, where?
When you go up more, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the trail that goes up the mountain?
Yeah,
Wait, oh,
Yeah,
so
You're talking about-
the John Muir Trail.
yeah, the one that goes,
Yeah.
like you cross the river and then it goes up the
Yeah,
hill to
to
Walnut
Pogner,
Mountain.
okay.
Yeah, up here.
Well, who owns the river? Because there's, I've walked that many times.
What, this
From
river?
Sunnybrook down to,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
like you can follow the river right down,
from what, from the bottom of the dam?
yeah.
Well, it's,
And I mean,
Waters of the- of the-
Sunnybrook does connect, so I've done this path. This is really fun, actually, to go over this thing.
I've been over there.
Yeah, and then you come down, then you walk along the river. And then Sunnybrook, connects, you have to cross the street and everything.
yeah.
And then the John Muir Trail connects with Burr Pond. So I mapped that that's a 10-mile loop from downtown Torrington through,
But yeah, I see people on like bikes and running and stuff on Newfield. I'm like, oh my God, these people are gonna die.
Oh my gosh, I know,
A bike path would be great.
so fast, I know, and it would be nice to connect to, yeah, I mean, at this point, it's really, the primary goal of this is to connect north to the Sioux Grossman.
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is owned by the city now, this piece, it's 11 acres. So in the short term, there's a good potential for some like little loop trail, through here. It is densely populated with homeless people. So that is kind of, I don't know how that would work with the trail system, but anyway, yeah, this whole thing is owned by the city too.
Is there any, has anyone heard anything about the Sue Grossman Trail getting extended up to Winstead? Is that still in the works?
Winstead, to the downtown Winstead? Like
Well, from where it ends now,
in
it's supposed to go all the way.
yeah, Winstead's working on it.
Like actively.
Yes,
working on it?
yeah, I mean, yes, they are. They're
Okay.
trying to prioritize it above everything else.
That would be awesome.
Because they don't have a lot of bandwidth up there. But that's like, they're,
And do you know?
Which is
what
why it's
the
not in their
additional-
downtown area anyway, like it was supposed to really, Winstead was the driving force for that.
yeah, and it's like an economic development thing for
Yeah.
them to have
Yeah,
that go all
they
the
were
way
the
up
driving
there.
force when it first
You
went
know,
in, and by something that happened when the money came in, Torrington was ready, and Winstead was not. We
Yeah,
kind of got the trail, and they were a bit
You
upset.
gotta be ready when the money comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, how much additional length do you think that would be?
So, I mean, I don't know this super well, but I just know roughly I think what happened was they got a Deep Trails grant for an extension, and then they didn't spend it, and it lapsed or something like that. But right now it ends at the DMV, and they're looking, right, so
Well,
this
there
is the
was a small
DMV here.
extension at one time, right?
This is the most,
There's it, that's right, yeah.
so just, so this is DMV.
Okay.
So it just ends at the
Yeah, just
DMV.
ends. Yeah.
Ends, okay.
But I think they want to run it up through this property.
Oh, how nice is that?
And
Is
then,
that the bike path or?
Yeah.
yeah, and then come back up to Winstead Road, but they still have, it's not long, but they do have this section here, to get up to downtown.
Cool. So that's like gotta be another couple, few miles or something, right? From what it is now,
Oh, at least.
from the DMV.
And the city's trying, Torrington's trying to run it south from there, but, right, so this is Harris Drive where it ends now. This is more Eversource property. They're gonna run it underneath, in a culvert underneath Winstead Road, because this is the sewer line, so the city has a sewer
Well, that's
easement.
Dead Man's Curve, right?
Yeah, they call it Sinkhole Bridge, it's much.
What did you call it?
Dead Man's Curve.
My
It used
uncle
to be a
got hit by a
sharp-
bike- by
yeah,
a-
it used to be
he was
sharp
on his-
curve. They
He was on his
definitely-
bike, he got hit by a truck.
Yeah. Killed or?
No, but he was left, he says he was left on the side of a road like a raccoon.
Oh my
And a
goodness.
neighbor heard it.
Wasn't there a fatality there?
Oh,
I wouldn't be
I'm sure over
surprised
the
if there were
Yeah.
many
years. That's what they call it,
fatalities there.
Dead Man's Curve.
Yeah. But then it would, ideally, once they put that in, it would cross over onto this. This is all owned by the city for the sewer. And then end up on Old Winstead Road, which is over here eventually. And then cut through this area here. And then this is the condos. This is the right of way for the state. So state's already been amenable to running it here. We need an easement here. And then this is all owned by the city already.
Wow.
Awesome.
A huge section there. And then it just kind of, and then it gets hard. Then it gets really hard.
Right, but there's like,
In this
I
section.
swear that there's like a old rail bed that you can see when you're driving on the.
That's what
Winstead.
this is.
That's what that is right
And
there?
you know that pond at the
Yeah.
at the top where the billboards
Yeah.
are? It goes behind there, but you can see
But
it.
doesn't it go behind, like, where's Subaru?
There is
Because I
one,
see it
there's one behind
behind
Subaru,
Subaru.
but that already sold. That's
Oh,
this.
really? Who
Yeah.
owns that?
Someone bought that?
What?
Yeah, well, the Zellers sold it to someone who's expressed interest in development there. But they would have
Mm-hmm.
they'd have to mine it. They'd have to basically like blast it out. If you've ever seen it, it's all rock. It's
Yeah.
crazy in
That's how
there.
it's-
Yeah, and then it
I
was
was like,
like
no, they're gonna
armored.
buy that. Wow.
Torrington Trails wanted this so badly for obvious
I
reasons.
know.
And the Zellers
Interested.
do not like
They
Torrington.
don't like the city.
So it's kind of a spite move. I think that's my impression. But yeah, so anyway, so we are in communication. We know the property owner. It's not like someone from out of town. We like know who they are and they know the city wants to do something there. And
Mhm.
I think they liked the idea that they had that leverage.
Yeah,
So it's all still in sort of a concept phase or?
It's not
is
even,
there-
yeah, I mean, concept with no drawing,
Oh,
Mhm.
like big picture concept.
Not just there, but like the rest of it to connect, is that all still concept?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the plan to develop this. No, it's in, there's actually, there was a routing study and then there's actually a design all the way to Albert Park Road.
Like a complete design?
Hmm,
No, we
nice.
just need money to build it.
And there is some, you know more about the transportation funding, but there's a federal money that they're trying to use for that project. It's some kind of transportation, or maybe it's like a pass-through thing to the state, some kind of,
There has been a bunch of money with the Biden administration, but I don't know with the change.
yeah.
It's gonna still be the same, but like.
But this
Biden
is,
administration was heavy into infrastructure, but also, you know, not for just vehicles, but everybody else. So
Right.
that was like a lot of money
Cyclists
was
and,
being
yeah.
pushed, you know, for that, which was great. But I don't know if that, like I said, I don't know that was the latest transportation bill. I don't know what the future is gonna look like.
yeah, I'm very uninvolved with this pot. I know that it's all kind of, it's very complicated because it has to do with upgrades of the sewer infrastructure and trying to turn it into a multi-use path at once. But I know that I talked to our engineer and he said it's out, you know,
That's cool.
years. So,
but still, everything's a long game.
yeah.
Okay, Cedar Lane Conservation Easement Mitigation.
That was the guy who was supposed to come in. We don't have to really talk about that. I'm
Okay.
working with him to get compliance.
All right, next is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, adjourned.
Do
Thank
I
you.
aye if I'm the one that made the motion?
I think you
Yeah.
can aye if you make the
I was
motion.
You have to
wondering
vote.
Earlier, I'm like, eh.
I don't think that it's, that it is, assumed that you are gonna
That's
go,
true. That's
you know,
true.
go with your own motion. You can
Yeah.
vote
You can
against your
vote
motion.
against your own motion.
Yeah.
You're basically
You
bringing
just bring
it.
it
I'm
to the
conflicted.
table for a
I'm tired
vote.
of talking, let's get this, you know.
No,
yeah.
that definitely happens. We were doing that in ZBA, right?
Yeah.
Where we were trying to,
Yep.
it can get complicated.